Hi everyone, this is Char, and in this video, I'm going to do a review of one of the older ranged hero who is Chun. Now, a lot of players defend Chun, and a lot of those players are older players, and I think those older players need to go to a retirement home because Chun is becoming obsolete. She's not useless, she's still decent, especially if you've already worked on her a long time ago, you have her awakened, she's part of your lineup, but she would not be in your first or second range lineup. Not at all with so many good new ranged heroes. I don't even think she's going to be in the third lineup, she's most likely going to be in the fourth. So she's not going to lose her place, but she's going to be at the back of the line, even though she does deal a lot of damage. Her first skill is actually one of her problems. So even though she deals a lot of damage, it costs so much more rage to fire this skill. And yes, it does hit two enemies with a damage factor of 12,000. So that part is pretty good, but the fact that it takes so long for you to fire that kind of makes her a little bit on the liability side of things. Her second skill is called Retribution, which is a passive skill. When taking skill damage, restores 35 rage instantly. When taking skill damage, restores up to 100 rage instantly. There is up to 50% chance to inflict silence on the attacker for 3 seconds. This effect triggers once every 6 seconds. So the problem is Julia inflicts silence at 100% rate, not 50%. So if this was higher, I would say Chun would be better. A lot of range players report that this doesn't fire as much as they would like. Although 50% is pretty good in my opinion. 1 and 2 skill damage means it would fire. And restoring 100 rage when taking skill damage is also really good. But the problem is Chun is not very tanky. So you don't want her to be taking skill damage to begin with. So she is definitely a glass cannon. Her third skill is called Battle Elite. When in battle, increases range HP by up to 20% and range attack by up to 20%. So this is okay, but it's getting pretty low by today's standard. That's why she is still paper, even though this is okay in terms of how much HP she's getting. Her fourth skill is called Resilience, which is a passive skill. When leading range only, increases skill damage by up to 25%, which is quite good actually in my opinion, and travel speed by up to 30%. So Chun is actually the fastest ranged hero alongside Jack Bronte, so perhaps those two would make a good combination. However, with that being said though, the problem with Chun is she is a glass cannon and she gets killed very easily. Her awakened skill is called Double Kill and deals damage to two enemies in a straight line with a damage factor of 13,000. So it's good because it does deal a lot of damage when there's a big swarm of players that's having a battle royal. The problem is if there's a big battle royal happening, Chun is definitely going to be targeted. So how often are you going to be able to fire this at a practical level? And also the problem with Chun is she has to be the leader hero. So the thing is, if Chun didn't have this leader hero thing that's going on here, then she would be absolutely deadly because you can just pair her up with Sophie being the leader with that lower rage requirement for firing skill damage, making Chun an amazing hero up to this day. But nowadays, as a result, she would just fit in your fourth or fifth lineup. In terms of the talent tree, it's a standard skill one where you would build all the way to the Predator's Rage, all the way to the top left here also at the high precision blast. Increase her travel speed as well if you can. Obviously, Chun has to be the leader hero. I think she would be pretty good with Jack Bronte actually. She would also be pretty good with Lin. So Lin would make her more tanky and also will increase her travel speed. So Lin and Chun is actually a match made in heaven as a result. So I think with Lin, you could make an argument that Chun is a lot better. So if you have to use her in the field, then you must have Lin in your team. Anyways, that's about it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.